Why don't you just leave this house and become homeless, you old menopausal hag? After 30 years of marriage, my husband snapped, suddenly getting all bold and confronting me with divorce. Old menopausal hag? What a filthy thing to say! Fine, let's get divorced then. Go off to your mistress if that's what you want. But just so you know, I will never become homeless. I'll find true happiness no matter what it takes. Dear God, please punch this arrogant, delusional man in the face. I'm Melissa, a stay-at-home wife in my 50s. I married Kevin when I was 22, having met him through a friend while I was working in an office job. He was older and more experienced in the working world, and his gift for gab caught my attention, eventually leading us to date. When he proposed, saying, "Marry me," I immediately said yes. In our early days, he helped around the house and we spent weekends together, enjoying each other's company. But about a decade in, things started to get stale. We thought about having kids, but realized it wasn't something that would just happen. By our late 30s, we even tried fertility treatments, but when those didn't work and Kevin began to pull away, we both silently decided to stop. He probably felt liberated. I was vocal about wanting his support for getting pregnant, marking the calendar for when it was likely. When I considered going back to work since we couldn't have kids, Kevin scoffed. What? You're saying I don't earn enough? Just stay home and take care of the house. So I was stuck at home, our relationship cooling further. I tried suggesting outings to lighten the mood, but he brushed me off, saying he had plans. His nights out became more frequent, and his attitude towards me grew colder, only talking about his work outings. Eventually, I accepted this as the norm. In my late 40s, my health started to decline, causing headaches and fatigue that interfere with household chores, something Kevin barely noticed due to his scarce presence at home. When he was home, my inability to keep up with chores due to my health would irritate him. Hey, can't you even keep the laundry in check? I was just lying down. What do you think you're doing lounging around while I'm out working? This was becoming unbearable. I defended myself. It's not like that. I'm really not feeling well. But he wouldn't believe me. To him, I had become a lazy wife. Meanwhile, Kevin started to pay more attention to his appearance, picking out ties with care, something he never did before. I noticed new ties in his outings and casual suits. Why all the dressing up? I asked, to which he replied, "Meeting up with work buddies." Doubts crept in, but my poor health kept me from probing further. One day, I asked him, "Could you bring home meds for the headache, please?" Only to be met with a harsh, "What? Can't you manage your own health? It's because you're always lazying around. Just sleep it off." Eventually, I saw a doctor and found out I was experiencing symptoms of menopause. The doctor said my headaches and dizziness were due to autonomic nervous disturbances, but fortunately, they were mild and manageable with supplements. I decided not to tell Kevin, doubting he'd understand. As I learned to manage my symptoms, I paid closer attention to his erratic behavior. One late night, I greeted him. "Welcome home," surprising him since I was usually in bed. "Oh, you're still up." "Couldn't sleep." "Were you out with colleagues again?" I asked. "Yeah, but what's it to you?" He snapped back, but I detected the scent of women's perfume on him. "Are you wearing perfume?" I inquired. "No, must have been someone on the train. I'm going to bed, it's late." However, the perfume smell reoccurred, and another time, I found a receipt from a fancy restaurant we never visited together. My investigation into his credit card statements revealed purchases from women's fashion and jewelry stores, none of which were for me, of course. I could only think of one reason for his actions. Confronting him with the restaurant receipt, I asked, Who did you go with? It's from last weekend. Kevin dismissed it. Checking receipts now? Jeez, it was just a junior from work. Wanted to treat them to something nice. On a weekend? To a restaurant you'd never take me to? I pressed. Hanging out with you is boring. I want to enjoy my days off. He retorted, leaving me shocked. We have been through so much, even fertility treatments. Lately, you've been using your car for women's items. I started. So what? It's my money. I can buy whatever I want. He cut me off. But it's not for you, is it? I pushed. Just gifts for a colleague. A reward for their hard work, he claimed. And what kind of relationship do you have with this colleague? I questioned. None of your business, he snapped. You prefer spending your days off with them, shopping and dining, over me? I continued. You want to be alone on days off, don't you? You're always too sick to go anywhere anyway. He accused. Well, there's a reason for that, I explained. What reason? He scoffed. It's just menopause symptoms. I've been taking supplements and it's getting a bit better. I clarified. Menopause, huh? Shows your age. He sneered, laughing mockingly. It's true. You just don't seem like a woman anymore. Excuse me? Being treated like an old woman just because I'm experiencing menopausal symptoms? You're always wearing the same old lady clothes. It's so predictable. Kevin taunted. There's no need to speak to me like that, I protested. I've given everything for you, let you live comfortably as a housewife, and even supported us through fertility treatments. But in the end, it was all pointless. And now you're talking about menopause? Looks like your life's pretty much over. He concluded harshly. It's not like I wanted this to happen to me. And don't change the subject on me. We're talking about you. You're having an affair, aren't you? I confronted him. An affair? Yeah, with a much younger colleague. Kevin admitted nonchalantly, revealing his infidelity without hesitation. It's more serious than just an affair. Being with you is just exhausting, especially now with your menopause. All right, let's get divorced then. You'll struggle to make ends meet immediately, so I'll give you alimony or whatever you want. He declared dismissively. What? I was stunned. After being a housewife for 30 years, there's no way you'll find work now. And with menopause too. You've lost any charm you might have had as a woman. Impossible to think about remarriage. The alimony I give you will probably just go straight to your living expenses. Might as well become homeless, you old menopausal hag. Kevin laughed mockingly. I was shocked. Even though our marriage had grown cold, to treat me like an old person then tell me to become homeless? Doesn't that show a complete lack of compassion towards someone you've lived with all this time? I had expected an apology from him upon confronting him about the affair. I had even been willing to forgive if it was just a momentary lapse. Ignoring my shock, Kevin started packing his bag. I can't stand being with you anymore. I'm going to her place. I'll send the divorce papers. Make sure you sign them, he said before leaving. Stunned, I couldn't respond, and hours passed in a daze. What had I really meant to him? Crying, I called my parents, and my mother consoled me. I decided to pack my things and stay with my parents for a while. A few days later, having cried my heart out, my mind felt clearer. There was no time to waste thinking about him anymore. I had to find a job and live on my own. I was determined not to end up homeless. Fortunately, my parents were healthy, and my menopausal symptoms were subsiding. Despite a career gap, being single meant I could work without domestic constraints. I got a divorce from Kevin, taking the standard alimony through an impersonal process facilitated by lawyers. Then, a few months later, while job hunting, an old friend who ran a matchmaking service approached me. We ran into each other at a cafe, catching up and sharing my job search struggles. He needed help due to staffing shortages at his office. Initially hesitant, I learned he was also divorced and found his experience invaluable in his current role. Encouraged by his words, I started working at the matchmaking office. Years later, at a matchmaking event organized by the office, an incredible incident occurred. Amidst the chit-chat among participants, a commotion broke out when one man got aggressive with another over a discussion about male menopause. "Do you understand the pain of losing male functions? You'll be in the same boat one day," the man exclaimed before storming off, and that man was none other than my ex-husband, Kevin. "Why are you here?" we both exclaimed in unison, sending chills down my spine. Kevin initially seemed surprised, but then condescendingly laughed, thinking I was a participant. "Looking for a new host to leech off?" "What? You've got it all wrong. I'm part of the organizing team here, helping people find new partners," I clarified. "Plain dumb, huh?" Kevin responded, his anger escalating. "Everyone, this lady right here is my ex-wife. Don't expect much from an event organized by a divorcee. She's more of a curse than a matchmaker." Kevin jeered, earning scornful looks from other participants. Seeing this as an opportunity for revenge, I calmly stated, "Yes, I'm divorced, but I'm happy now." "Bluffing, are you? You must be alone." "Don't lie just because you're scared of losing customers," Kevin retorted. "Actually, it's true. I've remarried," I revealed, showing off my sparkling wedding ring. Kevin, unable to believe it, only grew louder. "Everyone, she's lying!" But the commotion attracted the company's president. "What's all this about?" "Sorry, my ex-husband, a participant, is loudly berating me," I explained. "I see. Rest assured, everyone, she's indeed our staff. Please continue to enjoy the party," the president assured, standing by me and facing Kevin. "Even the president is lying? That's why I don't trust matchmaking services," Kevin accused. However, the president, smiling calmly, extended his hand to me. "Actually, I'm her husband," he revealed, showing a matching wedding ring. "Huh?" Kevin was dumbfounded. "She helped me start this matchmaking service, and that's how we got married. Please enjoy the event organized by us. By the way, I'm also a divorcee," the president announced proudly, turning to me. "We used our experiences to run this company. We hope today's event will be meaningful for all of you," he said, taking my hand in a gesture of unity. The venue erupted into thunderous applause, and the female participants looked up to the president with respect. Then he turned to my ex-husband and asked, "Didn't you come here seeking a happy marriage as well?" My ex-husband, clearly outmatched, stumbled over his words, unable to form a coherent response. I felt a sense of triumph. But I didn't stop my onslaught there. "By the way, didn't you marry the woman you had an affair with?" No. I broke it off with her. Being young isn't enough, you know," he replied, his excuse sounding desperate. Then, the man from the earlier commotion pointed at him and loudly said, "Hey, but you just told me you were dumped by the woman because of your male menopause symptoms." Aha! I felt a sense of realization. Kevin's face turned beet red. Pretending to offer consolation, I addressed the gathered crowd. "Well, it's something that happens to everyone as they age. We shouldn't mock menopause. The charm of a person is built over a lifetime." As applause filled the room, my ex-husband, finding the situation unbearable, made a hasty exit. From a distance, my current husband, the president, gave me a triumphant thumbs up. The matchmaking event that day was a huge success, leading to several new couples forming. Rumor has it that my ex-husband's symptom of male menopause worsened to the point where he couldn't continue working, which I found deservedly fitting. Life is unpredictable. According to other rumors, my ex-husband's condition deteriorated further, causing trouble at similar matchmaking events and landing him on a blacklist. At his company, he harassed many female colleagues by calling them useless, which eventually led to his dismissal. Ironically, the one who turned out to be useless was him. Since then, I have continued to work diligently at the matchmaking office and as the president's wife. Though our company is small and we may not be wealthy, my peaceful life with the person I love is priceless. Above all, I'm devoted to my current job of bringing compatible people together.